Prime Property, your weekly real estate reckoner. I'm Nayantara Rai, and this is what we have on the show today. We track down the latest at UNITECH as 1,300 home buyers wait for their homes in Gurugram. The Haryana state government is establishing if the builder is illiquid or insolvent. The Deputy Commissioner in an exclusive interview tells Prime Property which of UNITECH'S projects can be completed and which cannot. MS Dhoni faces the wrath of aggrieved home buyers of a project built by Amrapali in Noida, a builder Dhoni endorses. This in the same week, a parliamentary panel recommends punitive action, including imprisonment of brand ambassadors in cases of false advertising. And Dubai is planning to break its own record of the world's tallest skyscraper. Gurgaon, or Gurugram as it's now called, was in the news this entire week. Not just because the Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar decided to change the name of the city, but also because he met with aggrieved home buyers of UNITECH'S projects and promised to take stern action against the builder for failing to miss delivery timelines, which in some instances are as late as 5 years. More than 1,300 buyers are suffering from UNITECH'S late deliveries in Gurugram, and say the builder has already taken 95% of the payment and stalled construction. The Chief Minister has asked the state government to identify UNITECH'S assets and liabilities in India and abroad and determine which all residential projects can be completed and chalk out an action plan for those projects that the state administration opines cannot be completed. UNITECH's chairman Ramesh Chandra was present in that meeting, and he was instructed to provide new timelines. And if the company failed to stick to these, then UNITECH should be ready to face ex parte decisions. This could be attachment of properties and the state government lodging FIRs against the builder. I reached out to the city's Deputy Commissioner to find out more. Thank you, sir, for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. We did see a landmark meeting, perhaps one of the first cases where a chief minister has decided to address aggrieved home buyers and take decisions. Do you want to just first tell us the broad highlights of what undertook and what took place on Sunday?
Actually, in order to answer this, you should understand what happened during the last 1 year. Initially, government was thinking that, look, there is a builder, there's a buyer, they are bound by an agreement, and this is literally a contractual issue. Let the civil courts decide. And there are a couple of cheating issues which, the police, file an FIR and then investigate into the issue. But over a period of time, there is, through several meetings of allottees grievances redressal forum, we have been giving information to the government that where is ordinate delays and where are inordinate delays. So, Chief Minister heard several such people where they are not getting possession, and there is a delayed possession and unduly delayed possessions. So he insisted that we should assess professionally as to how many projects are there. Is it possible to firewall each project? For example, there are 500 houses. And in order to complete the project, you need roughly 20 crore rupees. And if 25 crore rupees is payable from the customers, is it possible to create an escrow account and let the allottees themselves get it done under the supervision of the government? Government is now thinking laterally as to what all, it's out of the box thinking as to what all we can do, what best possible measures we can initiate. So the Chief Minister has directed the district administration to list out all the projects individually and to assess whether the firewalling is possible and individually projects can be handled, and also there are some of the cases are so complex that, suppose consider there is a builder and he also has another 25-30 subsidiaries, there is a cross holding. It becomes extremely tough for district administration to unentangle all this. So we requested the Chief Minister that is it possible to get support and hand holding from the headquarters. We have clear details about all these, and then we will be handing over the information whatever possible that we can garner at the local level, and then we will be sending to the Department of Town and Country Planning for further action.
So, if you see what came out in the press releases also that have come out, it does seem as if Sunday's meeting, a lot of time was spent on one builder, which is UNITECH, for 2 projects. So if you can share with us what was decided. We understand asset and liabilities have to be determined, and the Chief Minister at that meeting said if the builder fails to abide by, perhaps they would look at attachment of properties.
What I can say is that it's a very, very considered decision on the part of government, because even the real estate sector is a very important sector of the economy. We cannot go and bash everybody just like a bull in the china shop. You have to identify, and we have to clearly differentiate between insolvency and illiquidity. If suppose somebody is totally insolvent, there is no chance of somebody building homes and delivering, then we have to take action. If somebody is illiquid and it's obviously, it's very clear in the times of recession that such illiquidity is obvious, and is across the world. It is not only in India or Haryana or in Gurgaon. So there were 2 or 3 complaints. It may be coincidental. That's why that particular builder was chosen, and we will start with that particular builder and we will move ahead and we will assess. By outset it seems so, but after garnering much more information, we should be able to tell whether somebody is insolvent or not.
So prima facie is looking illiquid or insolvency?
And that I will not be able to tell. I am not a financial expert, and much more information has to be complemented at the level of headquarters.
So, but is it also true that even if you don't want to take a builder's name, the Chief Minister has said in case a builder is going on delaying projects, not able to meet revised timelines, the state government will look at filing its own FIRs and attachment of properties?
You should appreciate the fact that I am only the Deputy Commissioner, and Deputy Commissioner has to only implement the things, the policies which has been formulated at the level of the headquarters, and I don't have any authority to even give a clue about what should be the policy, etc. Probably the information available at my level, at district level, is so scratchy that that will be overstretching myself.
So there is nothing that he has said so far about attaching properties in case builders continue to delay projects?
There is one possibility, that's an obvious possibility, but policy matters cannot be discussed in so superfluous manner.
So you said you have to prepare a list of projects. These are for delayed projects even by 1 month, or how is this going to work out? What is this list?
It is very clear that 6 months, 8 months people can manage. Anything about a year, people will start becoming restless. After 2 years, 3 years, they are up in arms. And you see, the project like Sunbreeze, 900 people not getting possession, that is something which obviously district administration has to take care of, and we have to take a note of, and then go into the depth of statistics and to flag the issue to the headquarters, because for the headquarters the information has to be garnered from here, and some information will be there and we have to complement it. So we are just providing that support system where we inform them, look, there are some issues which you have to take note of.
So have you started preparing the list? How many projects are there so far?
We have already prepared the list, and I have already sent a note to the headquarters.
Can you share with us how many builders, how many projects?
No, it's only one builder, and we have taken point to point, that is almost entire basket of projects. Which of them are being completed, which of them are not being completed, how much of them can be easily done. For example, take Aldergrove of UNITECH. It can be easily done. Roughly the customers owe roughly 90 crore rupees, and it can be completed in 60 crore rupees. It's easily that escrow account model can be done. So Chief Minister was in this particular case, he told that okay, you should go ahead with this, because it creates a win-win situations. And we are not here to create win-lose situations or lose-lose situations. We are here to create win-win situations. So Chief Minister told that we have to create win-win situations, just because we cannot go by perceptions. Okay, because it's a matter of economy, and even if you take, though it's a welfare state, we cannot discount the contribution of the real estate sector.
Of course, yes. So, and other projects, do you think they can be completed of UNITECH'S?
There are a couple of projects which we felt that, even if we firewall, they will not be able to, take for example, Vistas. Probably they will not be able to, all the money collected, okay, may not be sufficient. So they need an external source.
So how is this going to work if the project can't be finished? What is the way out?
You see, there are 100 different solutions, and that is what is called as policy engineering. And I'm not here to suggest anything at this juncture because it is purely the prerogative of town and country planning.
So, is the Haryana administration by any chance looking to maybe strengthen rules for consumers going forward?
See, at the outset, we are pro-people, individual customers, because in the back of the mind, one should be very clear that all these people have, deposited this money by their pensions, by, for some tax concessions, etc. So, yeah, is there any way by giving policy support, we can support, the builders? In turn, the customers also get benefited. Some of the builders are too big to fail. Okay, so entirely it's an issue which has to be balanced at the level.
They're too big to fail because it also impacts, for example, the banking industry. They have given collateral. It's a very messy situation. So that's what
not messy. It is not that alarming, and I think we have taken the issue at the right time. It is still resolvable.
You have also pioneered this entire concept of acting like an ombudsman, of having a grievance redressal system. Are you satisfied with the way it is panning out? Has there been any success?
For example, Rahejas, there are several cases which they cleared, and Archid, though there are some issues still, and we could give a clear-cut conclusion as to what should be done. And the implementation may be an issue, but to a large extent we are okay. But when reconciliation is there, there should be a zone of possible agreement which we need to create. In many cases it's not possible. Okay, when the pie is limited and pie is not growing, obviously reconciliation has its own limitations. But nevertheless, whatever is possible through reconciliation we have tried and we have got it done. Now we are going to the second step.
Which is what?
The policy reengineering issues. And finally, the penalization to builders will come only as the last measure.
What can we expect in this reengineering of policy?
That's what I told. It's too superficial for me to tell all this, and it's a pure prerogative of town and country.
Okay, one of my final questions to you. So how many cases do you think you have reconciled? What is the number like?
Must be 100 odd.
For 100 projects?
No. 100 individuals when they come, we handle them, and we request the concerned builder, we call them for reconciliation. Usually they get it done.
The buyers must be happy because at least someone is listening to them. They don't necessarily have to go to the courts. But have you faced any flack from builders? Do they feel that perhaps the state government is overstepping its jurisdiction, that this is a contractual issue?
Yes, obviously. No, there are three types of issues: cheating issues, contractual issues, and issues related to licenses, license agreements. So issues related to license agreements, we have identified, brought them to books. Some court cases are going on. So that should also be considered, in the credit of Allottees Grievances Redressal Forum.
So you're actually trying to break that alleged Babu Builder nexus that we all hear so much about.
Babu Builder nexus. I think it's something which is imaginative, which everybody is speaking of, in every service, whether it is judiciary, whether it is civil services, everywhere, good people, bad people, of course the proportion may change. So I don't think there is something called nexus.
You don't agree with nexus. So how many cases of cheating, how many cases of licenses have been resolved? Can you give us an idea? Other states watching you, other cities watching you right now?
Cheating cases are to be resolved by police and high courts, and whenever we identify those cases, we just recommend.
Okay.
We don't get into what happened to that. Investigation will take care on its own.
And the license issues, how many such cases?
This you have to speak to Town and Country Planning.
And so my final question, the Real Estate Regulator Act as passed by Parliament, is Haryana considering it? Are you for it, against it? Has any work started?
It's once again a policy issue, right?
So nothing has been discussed with the Chief Minister on this yet?
No. If they accept it, they will formulate an act, or they will accept the act as it is, and then they will inform us as to what to be done. Okay, we'll wait for that.
So that's Gurugram's Deputy Commissioner telling Prime Property which all UNITECH projects can be finished and which ones look difficult. That's not all. LIC has called an e-auction on May 6th to sell 14 lakh square meters of UNITECH'S mortgage property in Noida to recover unpaid dues and set a reserve price of 2,660 crore rupees. In a fresh twist, the Noida authorities issued a public notice to cancel that e-auction, saying it has first rights on any money recovered from this piece of land, as UNITECH has defaulted on payments of more than 2,400 crore rupees. In that very notice, the Noida authority says the land could not have been mortgaged with LIC without its prior permission, and the permission was not taken by either UNITECH or LIC. This is a developing story and we'll be on top of it. We have to take a short commercial break. On the other side, aggrieved consumers of builder Amrapali's project in Noida found sympathy from an unexpected quarter. Amrapali's brand ambassador, MS Dhoni, but this entire controversy has raised the larger question of endorsers needing to be more selective. Stay tuned.